This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Healthcare professionals can lead their careers with LinkedIn. Discover jobs by specialty, preferred shifts, and even desired salary. From mental health therapists to radiology technicians, it's now faster and easier for healthcare professionals to find the right fit. Learn more at linkedin.com/healthcare. Side effects may include faster job placement, improved work-life balance, and increased career satisfaction.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
Good morrow, everyone. This is The Other Side of Midnight on 77 WABC. I'm Frank Morano. All right. Are you tired of hearing about the debate? If you are, I have news for you. You're in luck. Because we're going to talk about stuff that really matters to you. There are astronauts that are stuck in space. They're on the International Space Station. We have no idea when they're coming home. Maybe February. They thought they were going for a 3-hour tour like Gilligan's Island. They've been stuck up there for presumably about 8 months. But there's also a second moon. How did we get a second moon? I'm going to explore it with Dr. Sky. If you have questions, give us a call, 646-720-0635. That's 646-720-0635. Meantime, the big news of the day, bigger than any presidential election, bigger than even a second moon, is the fact that the Mets, who couldn't find a run against the Brewers on Friday or Saturday, have somehow managed to beat the Brewers in Game 1 of whatever they call this first round of the playoffs now. I have no idea if it's the MLDS, the MLWS, the MLCS, whatever S it is. We won a game. It's huge. That means all we have to do is win one more game and we make it to the Philadelphia Phillies. I realize I just called it we, and I'm not actually playing the game. And if you've seen the way that I play softball and the way that I bat, it's probably for the best that I'm nowhere near that field. The fact of the matter is, this is a huge thing for Met fans. We're going to get into it in a bit. Meantime, very exciting. I want to thank you, and I want to congratulate all of my colleagues here at 77 WABC. We just did a blockbuster ratings month. I had a nice meeting with our president and general manager, Chad Lopez, right before the show. He showed me the ratings for the whole station. I think these are the highest ratings that the station has had in 20 years. Now, obviously, you expect in a presidential election year, the ratings are going to be a little bit higher. Not this high. Not only were we the only AM station in the top 10, but we blew everybody else away, including stations that are on AM and FM. And on a very, very personal note, I want to thank you for listening, because we were number one AM and FM of every single radio show in New York. Everything. Every format, music, sports, news, talk, you name it, we blew everybody else away. So obviously the first person that I have to thank for that is John Catsimatidis for the opportunity to do this show. But second, obviously, it's you for listening, because without you listening, I'd be just talking to myself, which would not be a very good thing for anybody. All right. I want to thank everybody for listening. If you want to comment on any portion of my forthcoming discussion with Dr. Sky, give us a call, 646-720-0635.
Beam me up.
To be continued.
If you're having problems with your septic system and you're tired of spending so much money each year to have it pumped, then SeptiClean is the answer for you. SeptiClean is an advanced specially formulated blend of bacteria used in the treatment of home and commercial septic systems. The breakdown of waste in your system relies on biological activity of naturally occurring bacteria. SeptiClean restores the natural biological process in your septic system and boosts the existing biological activity. SeptiClean is completely safe on all plumbing and can help prevent expensive emergencies in pumping. SeptiClean has approximately 6 to 100 times the bacteria count of other leading off-the-shelf brands in a 1-year supply. SeptiClean comes in a water-soluble pack, which you flush down the toilet once a month with no mess or stress. Save time, money, and maintenance on your septic system. Find SeptiClean at Emporium True Value Hardware on Main Street in Sag Harbor, or visit micro-tab.com. That's micro-tabb.com. Micro-tabb.com. The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
Good morrow, everyone. everyone. This is The Other Side of Midnight on 77 WABC. I'm Frank Morano. This one is for Flacco. You know, they say if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. But that shouldn't apply to rats. New York City has always had a rat problem, but finally, apparently, we've got a plan that doesn't involve turning our feathered friends into collateral damage. The New York City Council's latest strategy? Birth control for rats. It's like Sex in the City, but for rodents. But if you're thinking, rat birth control? What's next? Tiny condoms? No, my friends. This is a bit more scientific. Instead of poisoning rats and inadvertently poisoning everything else, birds, dogs, including the great Flacco, maybe your weird neighbor who eats off the ground, the city's using a bait that makes them infertile. That means we can finally stop the rats from multiplying faster than your uncle's bad jokes at Thanksgiving and everywhere else without putting our wildlife in jeopardy. Remember Flacco, the poor owl who escaped the Central Park Zoo only to meet his demise because he ate a rat that had dined on poison? That's a tragedy that didn't need to happen. And now, maybe it won't have to. The Contraceptive Pilot Program is a multi-pronged approach targeting some of the rat hotspots in Manhattan because nothing says problem area like the corner of Broadway and 96th Street. The Health Department and the Sanitation Department are teaming up, which, if you ask me, sounds like the best buddy cop movie of the year. But of course, not everyone's convinced. We've got Dominic Romeo, the building super who clearly thinks he's the Charles Bronson of pest control, calling the program absolutely ridiculous. This guy apparently prefers to lure rats into cages and then dunk them in water like they're auditioning for the Rat Olympics synchronized swimming team. Not exactly what you'd call a humane approach, Dom. Then there's Matt Diodato, a veteran exterminator who seems to think the rats are smarter than all of us. According to him, the rats are going to turn their little noses up at this new bait because they haven't seen it before. Apparently, New York City rats are now Michelin star critics who'll say, I prefer my garbage with a little more seasoning. But here's the thing. We've tried everything else, haven't we? Poison just leads to more dead owls, more dead hawks, more poisoned dogs. The collateral damage is staggering. And if I have to hear Curtis and Nancy Sliwa go on for one more hour about this, I am going to gouge my eyes out. Plus, if this works, it could mean fewer rats without having to kill them off en masse. I mean, we're New Yorkers. We're tough, but we don't need to be ruthless. Imagine a city where the only rodents we have to worry about are the ones dressed up in costumes in Times Square. Wouldn't that be something?
Beam me up!
To be continued.
Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WABC.
Local Spotlight.
It's time we have a real conversation about campaign finance, folks. And luckily, my friend and councilman Joe Borelli, who happens to be the minority leader of the New York City Council, just wrote a great op-ed in the New York Post about this very issue. And I have to say, I agree with every word of it. Now, you've heard me talk about this before, but Joe, who would make an excellent pick for our next mayor, and apparently he's thinking about running, really hits the nail on the head with this one. Joe points out that the New York City campaign finance system, which was designed to prevent corruption, is ironically creating more opportunities for it. He uses the recent indictment of Mayor Eric Adams as Exhibit A, showing how our tax dollars are funneled into an absurd system that turns every $250 donation into a staggering $4,250, thanks to an 8-to-1 match for both the primary and the general elections. That's a 1,700% return on investment, folks. Not even the savviest Wall Street broker could dream of something so lucrative. Now, Who's benefiting from this? Not the hardworking New Yorkers paying taxes, that's for sure. It's the politicians. The politicians, their consultants, their fundraisers, and bundlers who have figured out how to game the system. As Joe eloquently points out, allowing politicians to set up their own campaign finance rules is like letting stockbrokers create their own regulations with the public guaranteeing their profits. It's a recipe for total disaster. Joe highlights numerous examples of corruption tied to the system, from Albert Baldeo to former Lieutenant Governor Brian Benjamin, and even the infamous Bling Bishop, Lamore Whitehead. The problem is clear. The system invites abuse and undermines our trust in elected officials. And despite the litany of scandals, Albany doubled down, expanding public campaign financing to all state elective races. It's like knowing you have ants in the kitchen and deciding to build a bigger nest. Joe Borelli's op-ed isn't just a call to action. By the way, I'm going to link to this right now on my Facebook page. You can check it out, facebook.com/MoranoFan. It's a roadmap for change. It's time to demand the repeal of these flawed systems at both the city and the state level. We need to stop wasting taxpayer money on schemes that do nothing but line the pockets of politicians and their cronies. So, hats off to my friend Joe Borelli, not only my friend, but my councilman, and hopefully our next mayor. He's absolutely right. And if we're serious about rooting corruption out and restoring integrity, we need to listen on this one.
Beam me up!
To be continued.
We off? 30 seconds of carefree bliss.
Oof, like wind in your hair carefree.
Oh, like using Clorox Disinfecting All-Purpose Cleaner in the home carefree.
Yes!
Like dog slobbing on the coffee table and cleaning it with Clorox Carefree.
He's on a roll now.
Spit toothpaste on the faucet.
You got it. You got it.
Peanut butter on the light switch.
Oh, spritz, spritz.
Spritz, spritz. Clorox, man. Clean feels good.
Okay, we're back.
Use as directed.
The Other Side of Midnight.
77 WNBC.
Local Spotlight.
All right, if you have not yet heard about this case, Kimberly Gotti, the wife of John Gotti Jr., and Gianna, the daughter of John Gotti Jr., have had the case against them, the assault case against them, totally dropped. It is absolutely over. Assault raps against both Gottis were dropped yesterday. It's not every day, especially when you're on the radio, that you get to say, I told you so. But here we are again, with the Gotti family being targeted by overzealous prosecutors and a media eager to chase clicks because the name Gotti sells newspapers and generates shares on social media. As a friend of the Gottis over the years, I've been saying for years that they've been unfairly targeted simply because of their last name. And if this case had involved any other family, it wouldn't have even made it this far. But because it involved the Gottis, the media was all over it and the prosecutors were quick to jump in. Let's look at the facts. The assault charges against John Gotti Jr.'s wife, Kimberly, and his daughter, Gianna, were dropped on, quote, procedural grounds. You'd think that'd be the end of the story, but the damage was already done. They had to spend countless hours and untold sums of money defending themselves, all because the name Gotti was attached. The truth is, if they weren't named Gotti, we wouldn't have been talking about this case from day one, let alone still talking about it today. Gianna Gotti, who's a basketball player, even expressed relief at the judge's decision, and who can blame her? But let's not forget that her mother, Kimberly, wasn't even able to be in court because she's battling cancer. Imagine being dragged through this ordeal while fighting for your life just because your last name happens to be Gotti. Their lawyer, Gerard Morano, put it best when he said that these charges never should have been brought and that the Gottis were targeted simply because of their name. The so-called victim in this case had credibility issues, and the DA's office failed to turn over evidence in a timely manner. The judge saw through this and dismissed the case as he should have. And yet, the DA's office hasn't ruled out an appeal. How much more do they want to drag this family through the mud? I'm glad this case is finally over, but I'm sorry the Gottis had to waste so much time and money on something that should have never seen the inside of a courtroom. It's a reminder that in this country, the pursuit of justice should be fair and unbiased, regardless of who you are or what your last name happens to be. Hopefully, prosecutors and the press will think twice before rushing to judgment the next time a Gotti is in the news. But somehow, I doubt it.
Beam me up!
To be continued.
If you're having problems with your septic system and you're tired of spending so much money each year to have it pumped, then SeptiClean is the answer for you. SeptiClean is an advanced specially formulated blend of bacteria used in the treatment of home and commercial septic systems. The breakdown of waste in your system relies on biological activity of naturally occurring bacteria. SeptiClean restores the natural biological process in your septic system and boosts the existing biological activity. SeptiClean is completely safe on all plumbing and can help prevent expensive emergencies in pumping. SeptiClean has approximately 6 to 100 times the bacteria count of other leading off-the-shelf brands in a 1-year supply. SeptiClean comes in a water-soluble pack, which you flush down the toilet once a month with no mess or stress. Save time, money, and maintenance on your septic system. Find SeptiClean at Emporium True Value Hardware on Main Street in Sag Harbor or visit micro-tab.com. That's micro-tabb.com. Micro-tabb.com.